their the targets they want to meet. Okay, because look, table tennis on the continent is dominated by the likes of Egypt, Algeria, Tunisia, Nigeria.
Yeah, Nigeria.
So Ghana is now trying to make a case for itself. Okay, Ghana is now trying to get into the elite when it comes to one of the best table tennis teams on the continent. And so it's good that at under 15 level, at under 19 level, we have a team that we can look at and say, well, when they get to the seniors level, they possibly would have, sharpened all the rough edges and smoothened all the rough edges and become credible athletes, or athletes that can deliver titles when they go into international competitions. And so I like the fact that it's here. I like the fact that it gives us the chance to have a lot more of our tennis players have a feel of competitions like this. Having said that, the Table Tennis Federation should again look at where we are now. Look at competition, what competition is doing. Look at what opponents are doing. Look at the models and see if we can also run a similar model, especially when it comes to the technical side of things, the coaching aspect of table tennis. And I'm hoping that they would properly figure out the development of these players by giving them some of the very best coaches on the continent. That is, if we don't have the required quality here, maybe we should look at that, because if the coaching is right, if the fundamentals are strong, I think that it gives the under 15s and under 19s a very solid platform to develop on, to build their careers on, to build their future on. So, I mean, I'm not expecting too much from Team Ghana. If Ghana wins 1 or 2 medals here and there, win, some individual competitions here and there, I mean, I'd be happy. But looking at the level they are coming up against, I think that there are very, very important lessons we should be learning from here. And hopefully, the Table Tennis Federation would kick on after this tournament and see how best they can position our athletes to be able to win things in future. So we wish the athletes well, and we hope that today certainly will be better than yesterday.
Well, let's hope, as we've established, Team Ghana will be playing. They'll be featuring 4 times today on the schedule. They'll be featuring 4 times today on the schedule, right? 4 times today on the schedule. So under 19 boys and girls, under 15 boys and girls as well. Seven 1061. happening at the Baltimore Sports Complex. You can go and have a look. Just be there, watch some good table tennis and all of that. It's the ITTF Africa Youth Championships. It's happening at the Baltimore Sports Complex. As I said today, Team Ghana is playing, right?
The voice of sports.
Exactly. Under 19 boys teams Group 1 match 3, Ghana taking on Cote d'Ivoire. Under 19 girls teams Group 2 match 6, Uganda versus Ghana. Under 15 boys Group 1 match 3, Benin versus Ghana. And under 15 girls Group 1 match 6, Tunisia taking on Ghana. So it's great. I'm happy that at least Ghana got to host such a thing. I mean, which is good. We have to push to try and host a lot more of these. But as you said, the most important thing is what it is that we achieve from this in terms of hardcore results or concrete steps forward.
Yeah. Very important.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see if we can work the line and speak with the president of the Table Tennis Federation, Mr. Mauko Afajinu. We'll see if we'll get him. Now, a little later, when we are done with the table tennis, we'll close out our conversation on the World Cup, right? We'll touch on a few other big stories concerning the World Cup, a few things to close it out. So you can send in your comment 054 257 1061 054 257 1061 054 257 1061. You can send in your comments. What do you want to talk about? Is it table tennis? Do you want to talk about the World Cup? Do you want to talk about some club news? Let me know. Good morning, Malco. How are you doing?
I am blessed. Yourself, how are you doing?
We are fine. Thank you so much. Congrats on getting the right to host, and congrats on getting the competition off the ground. Can you just give us a wrap or an overview of how day one went in the ITTF African Youth Championships happening at the Baltimore Sports Complex?
Day one was hectic. It was intense. It was passionate. If you love table tennis, that's the place to be. The Baltimore Multipurpose Hall. We had athletes from 23 countries competing, which is a new record for African Youth Championship. We are just south of 200 athletes from all these countries. Day one saw the dominance again of Egypt. They've been the masters of Africa. Ghana played against them. We lost, but Ghana won against Benin. And the athletes, the kids are looking to, the young men and women are looking to rally even as we go to the next stages. Indeed, Ghana did qualify for the next round because we won a game each, and we're looking forward to a better day today.
I see. Let's go back a few steps. Let's talk about how all of this, came together. It's nice that we are hosting, but for a lot of people, they may not have heard of it, or even if they did, they don't have an idea of what it took to get this competition to be hosted here. Can you just give us what you've had to go through, or some of the processes you've had to go through to get us ready, or to get Baltimore ready to host the rest of the continent?
So first off, we needed to put in a bid, and later on, we're not too sure about our capacity to mobilize the resources required, but we're encouraged by the African Table Tennis Federation and the International Table Tennis Federation, based on what we had done on the past, to give this a shot. And we took up the challenge, which has been a massive one. We are doing this primarily through our own internally generated resources, which makes it quite Herculean. We are grateful to the Sports Ministry for giving us access to the Boteman complex. We are particularly grateful to the Sports Minister for coming over there 2 days ago and making sure everything was up to speed and up to scratch. And we are very grateful. I mean, we've had people come in, give us support. Sun Seekers, for example, have been very helpful. We are grateful to them. We are grateful to all the other people who've lent a hand here and there to encourage us to make this happen. Indeed, it's extremely complicated and difficult. It's very resource consuming to be able to put this together, particularly because you need to host people from other countries who are coming here expecting to see the best of Ghanaian hospitality on a shoestring budget, and which makes it quite a huge tax. But we're pulling through and we're trying to make it happen. A lot of them are proud to be in Ghana. You come to Boteman, you see the tables there. We have a training facility that also has 8 tables. The main hall has 8 tables, and it looks pretty cool today. It's been difficult pulling it together, but we are grateful to God that we are where we are, and we are hosting a competition which is comparable to the best that you can have in Africa and beyond.
I see. You mentioned day one being hectic. We saw, I've just run through the results of Team Ghana. You've touched on that. When you look at the level of our players, U19, U15, and you compare them to the other countries, how much of a difference exists between our teams and the rest of the other countries, the better ones, let me put it that way, or the ones who are a bit more dominant? What's the level like? What's the difference? If you can put a number or like a range to the difference in quality, what would be your response?
I'll go with the range angles, and I would say that generally speaking, you would have maybe about 4 different categories of performance in Africa. Category A would be the Egypt and maybe the North African countries who have had a dominant tradition of table tennis, and would have strong table tennis academies that are linked to their other sporting and particularly football academies. So, for example, you have an El Hali that would have a table tennis wing and very well structured. And then you would have the next, within that category, maybe you have Nigeria they wouldn't have that level of they wouldn't have the same framework, but they have had a very strong table tennis presence with quite strong clubs, which are not as organized, but which keep producing quite their fair share of players. And they are the biggest competitor, the closest challenge to Egypt and maybe the North African countries. And then you have the next level. So the next level, which will be category 2, that is where Ghana is now. Ghana used to be in category 4 back in the day, but I mean, the likes of Israel, the likes of Juanita, and the new ones coming through. Kumasi have been massive. We have had a lot of talent coming through from Kumasi, particularly under 15, under 19. The Nungwas and other clubs have also been doing well. And so we would be in category 2 in my mind. Then there is category C, and then there are also category D countries who are the new joiners. I mean, the ones who are not particularly active, but for some reason are here in Ghana this year. The Chads, the Nigers, and they are giving the others quite a good push on the table. What it is that critically for the under 15s and under 19s is primarily about exposure, the opportunity to play with the best around in the continent. It has a way of giving a confidence boost that, when properly leveraged, can grow the game in all those various countries. So it's a good story for Africa. For Ghana specifically, I think we have moved up. We are in category B, but we need to get what it takes to start challenging Egypt significantly. And to get to Egypt, we have to go through Nigeria. I mean, my personal ambition is to start beating. In fact, there are 2 things I really want to achieve. I really want this administration to achieve. Number 1 is to beat Nigeria. Number 2 is to qualify for the Olympics.
Interesting. I mean, I guess a lot of people will be excited by the prospect of taking down Nigeria. But just looking at the other part of it, I asked about players. Coaching, where are we? Because we all know, and you know as well, that elite sports thrives on coaching. So how is the coaching picture looking like in Ghana in terms of table tennis? Where are we? What is our current state? And where do we want to get to?
What we've done for the coaching is to just build a very large base of qualified coaches. Previously, back in the day, you'd have maybe 2 or 3 coaches who are certified.
Mm-hmm.
As we speak, I don't know the number off the top of my head, but I am definite that our qualified coaches are north of 70.
Okay.
They are ITTF certified level 1 coaches, should be more than 70. And then we have a few level 2 coaches. The highest is level 3. And we have one person who is just on the verge of getting to level 3. And this is because we've built a pipeline of coaching courses where we bring instructors from outside, from Europe, from other countries, and they take our coaches through. And so we have quite an impressive pool of qualified coaches. But that is not enough. We need elite level coaches. And that's a conversation we're trying to have on the side, looking at an opportunity. We've started that conversation, an opportunity to have quite a number of coaches from dominant countries such as China. So if we got, for example, 3 coaches from China who come into the country to train and to build further muscle for our own coaches, we think that it could be game shifting and potentially epochal. So that is one area we are aggressively pursuing, to bring that level of resource, have it stationed here for about for about a year, transfer talent to our local coaches, and get them to go to the field and impact the game and bring up our young athletes.
All right, my last 2 questions. So the first of the final 2, in terms of, you mentioned the objective, this is to give the players the opportunity and all, but what are the tangible outcomes you would want to see, or the federation wants to see, when this competition comes to an end? And then finally, what would be your call to people listening to us? Somebody has sent me a message to ask whether it's open to the public. Is it a ticketed event? Can they come?
No. It's open to the public. Come to Botima. We start every day at 10. And table tennis is like, I give people the analogy of the World Cup. When we started the World Cup, there were a lot of matches. You could barely sleep. You watch and watch and watch. It's the same thing. So the initial period, which is yesterday, today, and tomorrow, there will be a lot of matches because everybody's playing. Then we get to the qualifying stages, and we get to and then there is the elimination. The matches go down. The good thing about this is that we are actually playing 2 competitions in one. Actually 3 in 1. So for the African Championships, there are the team competition where country will play against country, which is going on now. And then after that, there is the singles. So singles, everybody is playing everybody.
Okay.
So there are 2 competitions in one. And then when the African Youth Cup, African Youth Championship is done, there is the African Cup Championship, which is another singles competition. And so there is a lot of great table tennis to watch. You should be a Botiman. It's free. It's open to the public. We want to use it to encourage people to get back to this very lovely game of table tennis that everybody can play everywhere, anywhere. You just need a table, as we used to play when we were kids, plywood, deck table, and you start playing. And it's a lot of fun. What it does for your dexterity, what it does for your movement, your mobility, what it does for your analytical ability is priceless. So we encourage everybody to come over and enjoy the game. Now, in terms of our tangibles, now my number 1 tangible, for example, was just to build the confidence of the players and to take them to the next level, because these kids are the kids we are looking at pushing. We believe some of them, especially the ladies, they have quite a promising pipeline to the Olympics. And for others, we are looking at opportunities to do what the lesson from football. We struggled in the past, for example, even in the great days of Abedi Pele and Tony Balfour to qualify for the World Cup. One of the reasons was that we didn't have the core base of our players playing regularly with the best of the best in Europe. Now that changed when most of our players, most of our best players, the Montari generation, the Asian generation, were playing actively in Europe. That changed the core and the nucleus and the mindset of the team. And so one of the things we are looking at doing in table tennis, especially for the younger ones, is for them to play well so that we can embed them in deep table tennis playing communities. And we think that once we are able to get that, and that's why opportunities like this are important. You play very well, we are able to leverage your play, and then we are able to use that to seek opportunities for you outside the country where you'll be in a consistent table tennis environment. That we think would enable us get to the level and move from category 2 to category 1. Then I think I can beat Nigeria. Then I think I can get people to the Olympics.
Okay, we'll see how it goes. All the best. Congrats once again on getting the competition to start. All the best ahead of today and the rest of the competition, and we wish Team Ghana the very best.
Thank you so very much. We're looking forward to have you there.
Yes.
Please come over and let's have fun. Table tennis delights.
Wonderful. We'll be there. Marco, thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you so much. And you take care.
All right. That was the president of the Ghana Table Tennis Federation, Mr. Mauku Afajinu. Right, so the competition ends on the 27th. It ends on the 27th. It started on the 20th and it will end on the 27th. One final thing I did not state, right? The groupings, I think it's important, right? The groupings. Okay. So, for example, boys under 19 group 1, it has Egypt, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire. Okay, Egypt, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire. Group 2, Nigeria, South Africa, Benin, and Niger. And then Group 3, Tunisia, Uganda, Mauritius, and Senegal. And then Group 4, Algeria, Libya, Botswana, and Togo. So that's what we have in terms of U19 boys. So the U19 girls, here are the groupings. Egypt, Nigeria, and South Africa, Group 1. Algeria, Uganda, Ghana, Senegal, Group 2. And then that is that. Now, if you check the U15 boys teams, for example, Group 1, Egypt, Benin, and Ghana. And then Group 2, Nigeria, Algeria, Togo, South Africa. Group 3, Tunisia, Cameroon, Mauritius, and Niger. And then if you look at the U15 girls, here are the groupings. Group 1, Egypt, Tunisia, Ghana, and Benin. Group 2, Nigeria, Algeria, Botswana, and South Africa. So those are the groupings. Ray, I don't know if you have any comments before we proceed. Time check is 8:29.
I was listening to Mauko, and he addressed a lot of my concerns one way or the other. And so, I mean, we'll go there and have fun. A team should focus more on the next step rather than wanting to win medals in this competition. They should learn as much as possible on this one. Whatever experience they need, this is the best opportunity. Mm-hmm. Understanding how to play the game at competition level, all of those things are important. So we wish the players well, and we hope that, despite the fact that we are not expecting anything from them, they surprise us with some medals. So.
Okay, all right. Time check is 8:30. Your comments are welcome. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. All right, this is still the Sporty Breakfast. We're still moving on. Now, a few pointers yesterday, Ray. So yesterday, the Ghana Premier League released the date. Sorry, the GFA released the dates for the Ghana Premier League. Mm-hmm. Right, they've detailed all the way up until match day. So from match day 31 to match day 34. Right, match day 1 is the weekend of September 4 to 7. Okay, September 4 to 7. The midpoint of the league is the weekend of January 1 to 4. Right? Yeah. And then the final weekend of the season is May 28 to 31, 2027. So those are some of the key dates people will have to take note of. Match day 1, September 4 to 7. Match day 17, which is halfway through the league, is weekend of January 1 to 4, 2027. And then match day 34 is on the weekend of May 28 to 31. Right? Now, a follow-up to this is that the GFA says that on Thursday, they will announce or unveil the full fixture list for the Ghana Premier League. Okay. All 306 league matches will be announced. Now, the Premier League fixtures will detail the 34 matches for each team, and it will help teams plan. It will help supporters plan as well. So the fixture list will be released 2 p.m. on Thursday, July 23. So we can all get ready for the new Ghana Premier League season. We can all get ready for the new Ghana Premier League season. We can all mark the dates, mark the calendars, and then start to prepare. Those who will be going to Takwa, those who will be going to BBNE, those who will be going to Kumasi, you mark all those days, and then you get to plan for all of that. 8:33. Abigail Senasosu is joining us. There are interesting things happening with the Black Queens. They are getting ready for the WAFCON. Abigail has been keeping an eye on the Queens. Abigail, hi. Good morning.
Good morning.
All good?
Yeah, I'm great.
Okay. So the Black Queens played Tanzania yesterday in their second pre-tournament friendly. We know they drew goalless. What more do we know or don't we know? And then we can talk about some of the things that are happening around the team. They have some new people joining them.
Yeah. Well, I think that I remember earlier last year we applauded the FA for getting the Queens some friendlies that went on to impact on their performance at the WAFCON that ended up winning the bronze medal. And so I think they decided to continue from where we left off. We played the first one, and then I think the second one was supposed to have been Nigeria.
Yes.
But for a moment, I sit back and I'm just reminiscing. Okay, maybe we played Morocco last time, and then when we came to the game proper, we were able to at least find our way around them. So maybe Nigeria is thinking if we have to meet them along the line after this friendly, we could get to know them. So maybe, but it's one of those things. They're also trying to put themselves together in some way, and I'm sure. Remember, we're talking about the timing of the rescheduling, and I think it's really affecting a lot of the nations because some of their players are now trickling in. Even Barbara Banda got to Zambia's camp in Nigeria just yesterday, and Lindo Uso-Ansah also left Canada, and she's now going to join the Queens. I'm sure that is why we've not really had all the nations give us their final squad as at this time that the tournament is set to start later this weekend. And so for the Queens, they are just putting preparations together, but it's also telling us that they could be in for another great tournament this year. Okay. Because this is Tanzania we beat 4-1 in last year at the tournament proper. And they have come back and we had to draw with them. It tells you that they are also doing things right. As much as we are doing things right, because we considered the other time at least one, but this time they were unable to score. As we scored them 4, we were unable to score them. And just like Kim said, he's trying a lot of variations, and I feel that he still wants a better backup for maybe Portia, because for the players he keeps calling, you keep seeing defenders.
Oh,
I'm not more focused as a central defender. So clearly, he's still trying to get that fix. If along the line she wants to retire or anything. I'm sure he wants to get things right at the back. So trying to get new players in there, new combinations in there to at least see what we can do is what they have done so far. And I think that, like I always say, I prefer you make all your mistakes around this time and get to correct them than when you get into the tournament proper and there's nothing you can really do about it. So I think so far it's been some good exercise there for them as well. They might not have gotten into Morocco at least as early as they did the other time, but I think this is about the second week, and it's all well and good. Again, the calendar and the the change of date does affect a lot of things. But to see how they are going, I think that we have some good news that there's nobody injured at this point in time, and that really helps. And getting to keep the core of the team is the most important thing, and that looks like what most of the nations are doing. And so we are in for a very good one this year.
We'll come back to the team, but let's talk about the additions that have been made. They have some additions, or they have made some additions to the back room. James Slaughter is the new performance analyst, and then they have a new goalkeepers coach. You know, your thoughts on these additions? What do you think? Okay, so first, are you surprised they've made changes to the back room? And two, what do you think Kim Lars wants to do with these changes? What is he telling all of us with these, appointments? I am
rather happy than surprised, because ahead of the World Cup, the Black Stars also did some additions that they believed would help the team get better. And at least for some of us that saw it, we saw some slight changes and a change of environment around it, and it did help. And so I'm sure if we got to replicate that with the Queens, it is not a bad asking. And I think my joy once again is about the fact that these are not people that were imposed on him, and from all of their background, they are all from the same place, and so he gets to be comfortable. Kim gets to really rely on them, and it tells you that these are people he has known in the game, and they all do have some level of experience as well. And so for me, I am not surprised at all, but I'm happy that he's also been giving that opportunity to get people to help him during the WAFCON, and we've not gotten any communique that they are going to stay beyond the WAFCON. All of the interviews and then the message that is being put out there is directed towards the WAFCON, and it's a big deal because this time around, if they get to be in the last four again, they are going to the world later in 2027. And so this year's WAFCON is not just for the trophy, but also there's a ticket at stake to get back to the world. And I feel that it will be a dent on the Black Queens if they don't, because this is a year where U17 has been able to do it, a year where U20 has been able to do it. Then you, the senior, if you are not able to do it, clearly among the three women's national team, they will not feel comfortable. So if this is how Kim believes that it would help, then so be it. But I was having a conversation with Efsin, I think yesterday, and maybe the other side of it was about Yusuf Bazigi, because if he is the Black Queens B coach, and there's a tournament like this, Efsin was asking why he's not there, and I'm like, well, there are lots of things that will happen in the days leading to the tournament. Maybe he'll get to join them to also at least get to see how Kim will want certain players and in certain positions, so that if he has to continue the scouting back here, he knows the kind of quality that he will need for the senior national team. But apart from that, I am happy that we've gotten to a point where if the women are also asking for a certain level of help, now it can be given. Hitherto, we didn't get a lot of these things, and those are some of the things we were complaining about, especially the friendlies and not being exposed that much. And the good thing, our players have had the exposure, and so we're having all of these brains to come on and help. It is not a bad thing at all. I just believe that maybe it is towards making sure that we also get to be one of the four that in the end will get the ticket to the World Cup. We were trying to maybe mimic what we did the last edition, and maybe keeping one eye on the trophy and another eye on the ticket.
Quite interesting. Let's talk about the squad that's in camp. A lot of very familiar names and faces. How many players will Kim Lars? How many players does he need to cut from this squad to get what he needs?
He caught 27, so he has to cut off 3.
3, so he
and
has to name...
he's saying it will be very difficult and heartbreaking because everybody seems to be putting in that effort. And so at the end of the day, he has to provide final 24 for the tournament to begin. And we're about, I think, 4 days away, because the tournament begins on Sunday, 26th. Okay. So about 4 or 5 days away. And I'm sure in the next 2 days, or maybe by close of tomorrow, he might have to just announce it like other countries, because that's at this time we don't had anybody's final squad being announced. I think I saw that of Senegal, but it has not been confirmed by CAF or the website, so I can't see that is their final squad. But they also named some 24. So clearly by tomorrow, Thursday, we have to name 24, and the 3 would have to either come home or go back and join their
I mean, in terms of the squad, listeners, for context, I'm going to run through the team. So Cynthia Findip, Osman Huzeima, Benedict Simon, Josephine Bonsu, Portia Boachi, Susan Amedia, Abna Anoma Opoku, Grace Asantoa, Linda Owusu, Evelyn Bedu, Princess Mafo, Alice Kusi, Sharon Sampson, Ajegipina Zakaria, Afia Menyaku, Comfort Yeboah, Anastasia Cha, Ernestina Bambela, Alex Tay, Louisa Niwa, Jennifer Kujo, Wasima Mohammed, Chantel Boy-Loka, Princella Edubia, Stella Nyameche, Doris Bredua, and Abigail Kim. So these are the 27 players that Kim Lars Bjorgen has. He has them in camp now. Yeah. He has to make a decision on 24 of them.
No asking you.
No, I know it's a tough one.
If the person working with them doesn't know who go home, I don't know.
but in terms of you know the squad, I guess your expectation is that we'll see maybe a lot of the names we saw from last year.
Yeah, and that's how it will be, at least a 70-80%. We are going to see them there, because maybe the goalkeeping department will just see maybe Uzema staying, because maybe we definitely need a 3 goalkeepers. So junior net ladies, Uzema will just join Afi and then Cynthia. Those ones, at least they can say they are okay in that department. And if Comfort is fit, there's no way he's going to change that. And Nas was there. Ama Bambila was there the other time, but they didn't enjoy playing time. I don't know if she stays, how that would change. Josephine Bonsu clearly was impactful in the last one. Portia Boachi, you can't start her at this point in time. Amadia, my very own Amadia, like I mentioned, now she's grown into the game to a point where it will be difficult to let her also sit out as well. Abna Mopoku is a very forceful central defender. She's good at her job. She keeps her focus. She's very, very talented at that. And I liked how she sees the opportunity to create that first impact on Kim when they played the friendly. She was back into the country and went back to Ampem Dakwa to at least try to get herself in shape. And Hazakes and Ampem Dakwa are just known for that. But the minute you come back and you want to play, they do not have a problem. Just at that friendly, immediately she caught the eye of Kim and she was called into the squad. That is just how impactful she can be. And I don't know if something else has changed during training in Morocco or anything, but if you leave it with me, I think that she's also had that exposure on the continent already. Played with Ampem Dakwa in the CAF Women's Champions League, very, very good back there, but just that, you see, in this country are not scoring the goals, we don't really pay attention, but her impact to that back line was good. And so if you want to keep her, I do not have a problem. Guess what, the minute they moved to Morocco, her club just renewed her contract. So
she plays for East Bengal.
So it tells you that clearly they've seen that, okay, if she's got to the point that it takes just a friendly game for the national team coach to know that she can be good to be a part of the final squad, then why not? They've gotten her back in there. So I'm just scanning through and I'm thinking who will be going home, and I don't know what the reason will be. The only reason will be that we can't take all 27, because these are not qualities you would want to leave behind. If I'm sure if Kim had his own way, all of these girls will be available for him.
But which area, just observing the team, which area of the Black Queens do you think would need some work or would need some improvement?
Up front.
Okay.
Because we didn't get to have a lot from Doris Bodo in the last edition. But the good thing is, after the tournament, how she was able to get herself back up, became explosive in our qualifiers, scored hat-tricks, even be a part of, scored another one away in Egypt. And so now it tells you that she's been impactful, went on to win the Israeli Women's Premier League with her side, scored about 10, 15 goals thereabout. And so it tells you that, okay, she's gotten back her mojo and her head is back in the game. Hopefully she gets to turn on this time around. And there's Alexander Tay there as well. We've seen how some of these players have given us goals. We are hoping that Kofi Kim, if she stays, would also be that impactful with Doris Bedua Fon. And Zakaria Jekepena needs no introduction, over 20 goals in the Women's Premier League as well back home. And there's no fluke here. Hard work also tells. We went away to Dubai, but for those little political whatever was happening, that we couldn't complete the Pink Ladies Cup. She started on a very high note, trying to get some goals in there for the Queens as well. So I think there are lots of options up front. That was the only problem that we really did have. So if anything's to go by, I'm expecting that those who stay should be a part of the attackers that will be able to help Doris Bodo, because between you and I know Doris will definitely be a part of it, because clearly, even from the way Kim has always lined up, it tells you he prefers her, and I do not blame her. A lot of the foreign coaches do like players with height, and so if you have it, it's a plus for you. Yeah. And if you have the quality or the skill of playing to, it adds up to it for you. So I'm just hoping that we get to see one of these attacking options at least being there to support Doris if need be. So I do not see players that will be dropped from this 27 coming from the attacking bit. Our midfield too. It's interesting.
Last year, the pair in the middle of the park, it was Jennifer and
Grace,
and they were solid. Yeah. Especially Grace Asante. Yeah. Look, it was just a joy watching her run that midfield, and I hope they are still in a good place, physically especially, and mentally, because this WAFCON, as you said, it's a high stakes WAFCON. It's not, you are not just going there to play and progress. There's a World Cup. There are 4 World Cup tickets on the table. So it's about staying locked in until you get to the semis. Then you know that, okay, you have 1 ticket. Then you can decide, do we want a trophy in addition? And then you go. So yeah, you are right. I mean, as for the midfield, it looks like people are fighting really hard. And there'll be lots of competition, right? But Abigail, when you look at this team now, and you compare this same team, it's almost like the same team will go to the WAFCON almost. Yeah. Do you see a difference? Is there what can you compare where this team is at now to where they were last year when they were just before the WAFCON or during the WAFCON? Yeah. Where have they improved? Have they gotten better? Do you think they are ready for this competition, which will demand a lot more from them?
I think that a lot has changed, a lot has improved. I feel Menyoku was still back home at the last WAFCON, but now she's in Albania. I think she went on to also help her side, I think, win the league or a cup or something. So clearly there's been some upgrade in there. Comfort Yeboah has also moved on away from back home, and so it clearly tells you that a lot of them have gotten some more exposure, and like I mentioned, Doris Bedu especially also went back after the WAFCON to improve on herself. So it tells you that they're moving away or winning that bronze medal, they not relent. And thankfully, none of them too has been injured after that time. But for Mariam Ponsa, that got injured with ACL when they came back, and she was trying to rope herself back into the team, getting to play in the qualifier against Egypt, but unfortunately out with injury and couldn't make her way back into the team. Apart from that, I think that Chantal went on and she's now a part with Nottingham Forest League. So there's been some significant improvement, and I've always said that getting them to play together is what has been the most important thing. And the joy, once again, is that the core of the team is still there. And I always say that the FA's move to get Kim to be briefly a part of the Black Stars was a way of keeping him in the long run. Because around that time, it was not just the players that were getting the offers to move.
He
said it. He himself, over 4 different nations, came calling.
What is Raymond?
4 different nations came calling, and I feel that it is good. However, tact we took to let him stay for continuity's sake.
Yes, that's true.
It is very good we kept him. And I now, if the girls are coming, he can close his eyes, just wake up and give you his starting 11, tell you everybody's weaknesses and strengths, because he's been with them now, and not just been with them, he's monitored them away from the national team. Now he knows his players better. And I'm sure there are certain mistakes that happened in the last edition. He himself will not allow himself to make those mistakes again. So one thing we are going to enjoy at this WAFCON will be continuity. And I'm just praying that the girls will keep that focus they did with us at the last time, and even do more. I expect a lot more maturity, a lot more great. And I'm happy with Cynthia Findeb as well. She could have said, okay, I would rather sit back and wait for a foreign club to come calling. But she at least got herself into the local league with the new side. Even though she was in and out of the team, helped them, and they stayed. And they are getting to continue on another season again. So I think that moving away from the last edition, individually, they all made sure they kept a certain level of progress, and I'm sure it is going to tell in this edition when it starts on Sunday.
Something strikes me when I go through the squad list, and Ray, I don't know if you've also caught on that. I can't seem to remember how many players we had from the Malta Guinness Women's League, but the numbers have reduced this time. Cynthia Finde plays for Samatex now. Okay. And then the other person on the list is Huzema.
Jonina.
She plays for Jonina Ladies. Yeah. And then there's Ajegepina Zakaria. Yeah. She plays for Ampem Dakwa. So now we have a lot more of the players playing outside the country.
It was after last week on that Nancy Amo left, that Comfortable left. So it looks like all the local players got snatched up.
Now we have
after
3.
The WAFCON, now we have 3.
How should we view it? Good or bad? Because some people, when it comes to men's football, we say that we want to have players, a lot more representation, right, of players from the league. But should we look at it the same way with the Black Queens, or in their case it's different? The more we have, the more players we have playing outside, the better it is for the team. I don't know what you make of that.
I think that with the level that women's game is picking from this country, in this country, in the last 3-4 years, for us, I think it's good, because that exposure is really needed. Until you win the league and get to prep for CAF Women's Champions League, you don't get to be really out there like that. And even the CAF Women's Champions League, when did they come? Until recently, hitherto, when we say a Ghanaian player or a Women's Premier League player is going out there, it was high stake. That was when Presley Dubi and Grace Asantua began those era for us. That's why for me, when I see Grace Asantua and people are now saying, I'm like, then you've been away for a very long time, because these two girls controlled our junior national teams.
Yeah, they played in a number of them.
Yes,
and they were switching between one team and the other.
And it was that time they were getting into Spain with Masisa Oshola. Precisely to be played with Oshola at a certain level when she was with Barcelona and all of that. So we didn't really have it like this. And so at this point, if you're enjoying the looking, to a very large extent, it is good. I remember after the 2023 CAF Women's Champions League, South Africa specifically moved to about 4-5 Ampem Dakwa players. And all they kept saying is, this is raw talent they can nurture with the exposure. Then it tells you that, okay, we have it. But it is getting them out there that we're not really getting to let them have that exposure. And so, to a very large extent, for the women's game, from where I sit, I think that it is helping. It is opening us to a new era. Just that we also need to be careful and maybe learn from Ampem Dakwa and Hazakes that when some of these girls go out after 2-3 seasons and they feel like, okay, I need to take a break and regroup, and they come back, maybe their club should embrace them like Ampem Dakwa and Hazakes do, because in the end, if they come back and they're able to find their feet again, they go out there. At least there's some small monies that does come back to them. So we'll just have to be very careful with it. But at this point, I feel that it is giving our players that kind of exposure. Linda Uzwansa is in Toronto, Canada, you know? I'm sure it would definitely tell on her play when she gets in there. And it will tell again when she gets to Poland with the U20 as well. So it to a very large extent, it is good. It lets them also know what is out there. Then when the need for them to also get to come back and play with their colleagues or get to the national team, you see the difference. It tells you that there's a lot of work that we also have to do here. But when they go out, then they come. We just need to appreciate what they bring to us from that side as well.
Yes. Finally, before I let you go, in the last WAFCON, players like Portia Boache stood out, Chantal Boy Holoka, Jennifer Kujo, Grace Asantua. Which player are you expecting, or which player do you think, or which player has to shine in this WAFCON, or which player are you looking forward to seeing that, okay, now this should be her tournament?
I think we've done an extensive preview on this. I'm sure very soon I will bring it out there. But from where I sit, I expect Doris to own this team. Because in the last WAFCON, from where we all sat, she was given all the opportunities a forward will get in the tournament. But for her red card that ruled her out of one of the games, she would have played in all of the games. But with how many goals? You know, I feel that how she was able to put herself together, like I keep saying, after the tournament, going on to win Premier League, going on to be one of the spotlights or the scorers during the last round of qualifiers against Egypt. I pray she holds on to that momentum at least and get to lead the attack for us. No doubt, if nothing gets in the way of Grace Asantua, I don't even want to think about it, because she will just do what she does. Nothing will take her play away from her. So in that middle, I'm not worried. And Cynthia, for me, take it or leave it, whether home or away, she's going into the team and she would keep her post at every other time. Portia on a good day together with Amadia will be able to man that central defense for you. So I don't have a problem at all, but I'm just hoping that whoever gets to play up front with Doris should be able to control that part of our game and own it. If Zachariah stays, all the better. She'll help her with her strength. If Amate stays, Tay stays, Alexander Tay stays, all the better. If Kim stays, whoever gets to stay and be a part of the attacking team.
Portia, a lot of expectation. And you think that this should be her tournament? Doris should
own this tournament. I really want to see that from her, because on a good day, she's not a soft striker you can push over. We have seen her right from her days with Hazaki. So I'm really hoping that she'll get it right from the beginning, get us some good goals, and get Ghana going.
Well, we'll see. Kim Lasbjørgen, head coach of the Black Queens, has a tough task. He has to name 24 players from this training camp in Morocco. Finally, nobody knows. So are there any matches lined up?
Well, as of now, they've not really announced any. It's close to the start of the tournament, and I think normally they get to be in the tournament mood or tournament hotel and everything. I think 3 days So I'm sure they'll be wrapping up their own camping or pre-tournament preparations and get into tournament mode pretty soon. So it might not get any other friendly maybe in the next 2-3 days, because at least I'm sure by Friday they should be in competition mode, because the tournament gets to start on Sunday.
Okay, we'll see how things are. Abigail, thank you so much for passing through that. Abigail Senasusu giving us a great insight into the Black Queens and their preps for the WAFCON. As we've stated, this is a high-stakes WAFCON. Why? Because the 4 semi-finalists will book automatic tickets to the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup in Brazil. Yeah, so for those who do not know, the WAFCON is starting on the 26th of July and is ending on the 16th of August. There are four venues that will host the competition being played in Morocco. The Stade Moulay El Hassan in Rabat, the Al Medina Stadium also there. And then you have Casablanca, the Labi Zaouli Stadium, and then the Rabat Olympic Stadium, and then the Prince Moulay Abdallah Stadium as well. Now, in terms of the groupings, this is how the groups do look like. Algeria, they are in the same group with Morocco. So Morocco are the hosts. They have Algeria, Senegal, and Kenya in their group. Then Group B, there's South Africa, Cote d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso, and Tanzania. Group C, Nigeria, Zambia, Egypt, and Malawi. Nigeria and Zambia getting to meet again after they met in the last WAFCON. And then Group D, Ghana, Cameroon, Mali, and Cape Verde. Now, 4 groups, 16 teams. The top 2 from each group will qualify to the knockout stage. And then you have the final 4 of the competition getting to qualify for the FIFA Women's World Cup in 2027. Now, the semi-final losers will compete in play-in matches to determine the 2 African reps who will take part in inter-confederation playoffs. So that's the lowdown in terms of the Black Queens. Just they also have additions to the back room. James Slaughter is the team's new video analyst, and he is joining Kim Las-Bjorgren's back room. Okay, he's joining Kim Las-Bjorgren's back room. They also have a new goalkeepers trainer. They have a new assistant, Pierre Persson, in there, and then they have a new goalkeepers trainer as well. I got still the Sporty breakfast. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we have more for you. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Why wait for full time when football.com can pay you early? It's called Early Wins, and it
Welcome back. This is still the Sporty Breakfast. Time check is 8 minutes after 9. You can still send in your comments 054 257 1061. Do remember that Rexona's Deo Spray are made for motion. They are made for you. They last up to 72 hours. And they are for the, intense moments. They are for the moments of high action, high intensity. Like you see in football matches where there are quick passes and hard runs, fast lefts, long rights, the aerial balls, the overhead kicks, the counter attacks, the step overs, the no-look passes, and the goals. Rexona's motion sense technology has microscopic capsules that sit on your skin and burst with friction as you move. Releasing extra bursts of freshness for every step you take and every move you make. Choose Rexona, choose protection that moves with you. And Stanbic Bank is saying that every tap or swipe deserves a reward. Your Stanbic Visa debit card doesn't just pay, it gives back. So get 5% cash back when you spend 500 CDs or more at ShopRite or 1,200 CDs or more at Decathlon. But why stop there? Unlock amazing savings with exclusive discounts from your favorite lifestyle brands. You get 10% off at Bliss Farm Entertainment, 12.5% off at Niobe Saloon and Spa, 20% off, or up to 20% off at Wardrobe Essentials, up to 50% off Nespresso. Every payment should bring you more value. Tap or swipe your Stanbic Visa debit card and bank the moment. Offer ends July 31. T's and C's apply. All right, so the World Cup came to an end on Sunday. Two things have happened in the aftermath. One, Spain obviously celebrating their win with with a parade. They went to see the king and all of that, and there are pictures, right? Rodri and Luis de la Fuente getting off the plane when they arrived in Madrid on Monday afternoon. Okay, and the Spanish champions meeting the king, and they took pictures. Then there were Madrid fans gathered in Madrid, the capital city. The open tour bus parade. Rodri holding the trophy, and quite interesting. Kelvin owns something here. Kelvin, there's a picture I'm seeing. There was a sign that was thrown from the crowd, right, to the Spanish players as they were going around on the parade. And the fan in question has something written on a piece of cardboard saying that they want to see a boxing match between Gavi and Leandro Paredes. Very interesting stuff there. So Rodri here holding the trophy up high, fans celebrating and all of that. Enjoyed his Ferran Torres is here taking in the applause, the adulation. He scored the winning goal, and Luis de la Fuente thrown into the air as he walked on stage. I mean, deserved celebrations, right? They are really, really enjoying themselves. Really, really, really enjoying themselves as they won the World Cup. Now, on the other hand, FIFA has opened an investigation. They said they want to find out who were misbehaving. Now, the story is on the BBC, and it says Argentina will face an investigation into the ugly scenes at the end of the World Cup final. FIFA has confirmed. FIFA's disciplinary committee has appointed a disciplinary and ethics prosecutor to assess what happened after the final whistle at the MetLife Stadium. Any player or coach involved in the fracas could face suspension, while the Argentine Football Association may also be fined. Okay? Following the loss to Spain, members of the Argentina team and backroom were involved in altercations with Spain players as they began to celebrate their World Cup success. Nahuel Molina, Leandro Paredes, Thiago Almada, and assistant coach Roberto Ayala all appear to be involved. It was incorrectly reported on FIFA's commentator information system that Paredes had been sent off. So that's been confirmed that didn't happen. Okay? And the crime was that Paredes had pushed Spain's Eric Garcia by the throat. Now, Paredes' red card was deleted shortly afterwards, and FIFA has confirmed to the BBC that no disciplinary action was taken at the time. Argentina had already one player dismissed, with Enzo Fernandez receiving a second yellow card in second half injury time or stoppage time. FIFA had already begun the process of potential disciplinary action against Argentina after their players held a banner in support of their country's claims to the Falkland Islands after they beat England by 2-1. Okay, now what happened? Now, as after the final whistle, as Rodri was going past Molina appeared to punch Rodri in the arm or stomach. We are not sure. And then that was what sparked the confrontation. Rodri confronted Molina, but it was Molina who thrust forward in an aggressive manner. Garcia ran over to back up Rodri, and he was forced to the ground by Almada. Paredes then pushed Gavi to the floor by putting his hand in the Spaniard's face. Ayala then looked to be holding Garcia around the throat, and he then appeared to strike Spain midfielder Dani Olmo. So that is the fact, okay? Argentina head coach Lionel Scaloni, he said, quote, "We are gracious in victory, and we must be gracious in defeat. Today we are showing that we know how to lose. We lost the match and we accept it, but that doesn't mean we stop living or forget everything we did to get here," end quote. Now, what are the options? FIFA will look into detail, and the story says that there's a greater chance of stronger punishment if players or the National Association is charged and found guilty. Okay, so that is also that
was assault, Nathan. That was assault. Let's not glorify it. They've misbehaved all tournament.
Well, it is true,
and it's not just one tournament. I won't go too far. Go back to 2018. That game against France, the 4-3.
Yes.
They were butchering Mbappe. That was whenever Banega, Mascherano, and they rushed to the referee. They hit players. I had to take Paul Pogba to just complain to the referee. If you don't take charge of things, I would also take things up myself. Mm-hmm. That was when the likes of Olivier Giroud manned up. Mm-hmm. In 2022, remember against the Netherlands, it was this same Paredes. After the ball was hit, was it Ezo who hit the ball to the technical bench of the Netherlands? Mm-hmm. It was Van Dijk who had to stand up to him, and that he even showed up and manned up, with his chest, and Paredes felt like heaven had fallen. They instigate and start the in quote the nonsense, and then they act like they are free from it. You could just see. And it started, I think, one of them, if you go back to videos, I just hope that FIFA will just look at all the videos. Not just what they have from their cameras, but all those that are circulating across the socials. Rodri was just running to go and celebrate, and then, was it Nahuel Molina?
It was Molina.
He played for Atletico.
Yes. It was.
And I asked him, if Rodri was playing in Spain, does he think he would have a smooth ride? It would have been like the Ronaldo Rooney incident. They won't forgive. How do you hate a player because he's won a game and he's running to celebrate? And he had played for your current club. So ordinarily, he's a club legend at Atletico Madrid. Because he hasn't moved to Real Madrid or any other to dent that reputation. And then the rest started. It was that incident that sparked everything. And Paredes, what at all could happen for you to just strangle someone like Gavi? They get angry when they are being teased, and then they went on to show the Falklands. you get it. It doesn't make sense.
It's very strange conduct.
Whatever you put up, you must be ready to face the same thing.
It's so, the conduct is so unsportsmanlike.
And when you are treated to the same thing, you get angry, and then you start up with fight. And the most disappointing part, Ayala, Aima, and then Walter Samuel. They were all involved. It wasn't like they were stopping them all. You could clearly see they were protecting their Argentines and trying to, overpower the Spaniards.
Yeah.
And it fascinates me that we saw match officials around. They were around the incident, weren't they?
Yeah, they were.
But why is it that they did not show red cards? We know it happens.
Oh yes.
Since you haven't left the pitch, you still can be given the red card, and the retrospective actions will be taken. And the match officials are telling us that they watched and then they couldn't give out red cards for what we saw. Paredes following up to hit people on the ground. I just hope the investigations will go right. Sincerely.
Well, let's wait and see what FIFA will do, right, concerning all of this. Okay, now we'll have to find out. FIFA has rules. Article 13 of the disciplinary code covers offensive behavior. Sorry, and the principles of fair play. Okay, unfair behavior and the principles of fair play. Now, the actions of players and staff could be judged as, quote, violating the basic rules of decent conduct, and end quote, behaving in a way that brings the sport of football and of FIFA into disrepute, end quote. So FIFA will have Article 13 used as the standard, and then they'll determine what happens to Argentina and the players involved in all of this. Will they charge Spanish players too for misconduct? I don't know. But it looks like the Argentine players are the guiltier parties because the videos show them as being the aggressors.
They are not classy in defeat at all.
I don't know why they do it.
They are not classy in defeat at all. When you were doing it, everyone, said Jude Bellingham did not do it well by hitting.
Of course.
Was it Barca?
Yes.
It was Barca he hit on the back of his head.
Yeah.
Barco, yes. And everyone said, no, Jude, that's not how you do it. No matter the statement from your opponent. I'm not sure it was an insult. Even if it's an insult, you reply with an insult. Mm-hmm. But for you to hit someone on the back of his head, you never know what can happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not.
And we all know the dangers that is associated hitting people from the back of their heads.
Yeah.
You could put the person into either a concussion or, a short hibernation period, or probably a headache. So you don't do that. And then these people behave like bandits.
Isn't that too strong?
No, but what kind of attitude? They've just been misbehaving. They've just been misbehaving. And the funny side of it is, not to get a Lionel Messi, because I know the Messi fans will come. Mm-hmm. They will come. But as captains, when these situations come, what do? You go around to calm your players because they respect you. Are the first authority. Thanks to Lionel Scaloni, when everything seemed to be getting rough, he just popped up and he did well to calm the situation, telling his players, "Come on, move away." The rest of the coaching staff, move away. The game is over. It's done. Mm-hmm. There's no need to engage in this because some of these players are teammates.
Yeah, it's true.
So you do this, if Romero engages in this and gets to Tottenham, he's going to play with Pedro Porro.
Of course. I think about it. You are teammates.
You are teammates.
If nothing at all, that should. You need to think about that and say, oh, I mean, like this guy.
Someone like Enzo, you look at Kukurea. Mm-hmm. And he's your teammate.
He used to be teammate. Kukurea is now going.
Yes,
to but I mean, you guys have history. You've played together.
And that was probably the last moment you see him before he goes. That was the time for you to get along and engage.
Just talk about it. But to be involved in that kind of
exactly confrontation, and then you're angry all because you did not win a trophy.
Punching each other is just
all because you did not win a trophy.
It's terrible conduct from Argentina. That was so classless.
It's so bad. I just hope that FIFA will act on it, and it should be smart. It should be now. They should do it. I want to see it.
I mean, they could give a ban. They might charge. They might fine the Argentine
for a fine. The minimum it has to be a fine. This one, there's no way they are going to escape a fine.
No.
Paredes, he knows he won't play at the World Cup again. 32. The next World Cup will be 36. But the boy is playing at Boca Juniors. He's not in mainstream Europe. Mm-hmm. There's no way he's coming back.
Yeah.
So he's behaving.
Okay. All right. Anyway,
but Nathan,
yes,
the release for the goals of the tournament. Mm-hmm. So yes, the nominations are it is purely by votes.
It's a fun.
Yes, fun thing.
Okay.
So the first goal that is going to be that goal from Alex Begovic, mm-hmm. Bosnia-Herzegovina against Qatar. Mm-hmm. you know, at the arc of the penalty area when he struck it into the top right corner beyond the reach of the Qatar goalkeeper. The next one is Julian Alvarez against Switzerland. That brilliant finish in extra time. You remember that finish? And then we'll go to the next goal that, you know, was scored in there, and it's going to be that goal. It's one of the brilliant goals. Jude Bellingham against France.
Oh yeah. That's it.
When he took the ball away from his half, went on along, faced Maxence Lacroix, and then just got the ball, hit it in between Upamecano's legs, and he scored. Erling Haaland against Brazil, the second goal.
That's a good goal.
He just picked up that pass. He took the touch like he wasn't going to strike the ball, and he scored. The next one is Wilson Isidore's goal
Against Brazil.
Yeah, against Morocco.
Against Morocco. Oh, that was a good one.
Isidore's goal. And then the next one is Elias Just, Iran against New Zealand. That New Zealand ball, he took it on his knee. You know, a touch. He was given a pass on his chest, and he took it on his knee, and he smashed it beyond the reach of the goalkeeper. And then you have Cabral against Argentina. Sidney Lopez Cabral against Argentina. That ball that was hit at the edge of the penalty area into the top right corner. Then we have the next one is Daisen Maeda, Japan against Sweden. That quick pass he took into just on the edge of the goalkeeper's area, and then he smashed it more like a penalty beyond the reach of Sweden's goalkeeper. So Maeda. And then Kylian Mbappe against Senegal.
Oh, okay.
That long strike.
The long range, yeah.
Yeah, from about 30 yards. We have Lionel Messi against Algeria, also from the arc, just on the edge of the arc of the penalty area, beyond the reach of, you know, Zidane. The one he went with two arms and couldn't save. That one, I think the goalkeeper was just terrible. Then we have Eldor Shomurodov. That goal against Congo DR. That you know, lob or dink, yes, to beat Mpasi. And then we have Ferran Torres goal, the winning goal of the World Cup against Argentina. He shot it with his weaker foot, you know, right into the roof.
Yes. Cross, Nico Williams heads it back, and then
it was just a brilliant finish to see. And then so that is the final goal in there. So you can just get onto the FIFA website and then vote. So this one is a fun engagement. You don't have to miss out on it. Everyone should just go vote for their favorite goal, and then we'll see which one wins. But which one would you think?
Oh, that's it.
I think I'll go. Cabral's goal has never left me. Cabral between Lopez Cabral and Julian Alvarez. Alvarez, not surprising because he does that a lot more times. Isidore, we've seen him in the Championship and even in the Premier League. But for Lopez Cabral, that's an absolutely banger.
Okay.
An absolute banger.
An absolute banger there. So Kelvin will pick that. So as Kelvin has said, go to the FIFA website. Go to the FIFA website and then choose. Now, in terms of the World Cup, though, let me just give you a few very interesting concluding stats. So the highest scoring team, all right, let me just go through all the stats. The highest scoring team, Kelvin, can you guess the highest scoring team?
The highest scoring team?
Yes. There are two teams that scored the most goals in the World Cup. France and then
Argentina.
No.
Norway.
No. France and England. Tied on 20 goals each.
Yeah. Wow.
Tied on 20 goals each. 20 goals each. Argentina, 19 goals. Spain, 14 goals. Belgium, 14 goals. Norway, 13 goals. USA and Germany, 11. Senegal, Switzerland, Brazil, Morocco. Okay, Senegal, Switzerland, Brazil, Morocco, and Mexico tied on 10 goals. Canada, 9 goals. Portugal, 8. Egypt, 8. Japan, 8. Sweden, 7. Austria and Croatia are tied on 6. And then Bosnia, Herzegovina, DRC, Algeria, Cote d'Ivoire, Colombia on 5. Okay?
Yeah.
New Zealand, 4. Cabo Verde, 4. Australia, 3. Paraguay, 3. Turkey, 3. Uruguay, 3. Iran, 3. Jordan, 3. Qatar, 2. The Black Stars also 2. Tunisia, 2. Czechia, 2. Korea Republic, 2. Uzbekistan, 2. Haiti, 2. South Africa, 2. Ecuador, 2. Curaçao, Scotland, Iraq, and Saudi Arabia all on one. And then Kelvin gets the team without any goal.
The team.
Yes, they didn't score a single goal at the World Cup.
Sporty FM.
Iraq.
No, Iraq. I said Iraq. I've just mentioned
Iran
it. They scored
scored.
one. Iran also scored.
Haiti scored.
Yes, they scored 2.
With
Panama.
Oh,
Panama didn't score a single goal at the World Cup. Panama didn't score a single goal at the World Cup. Okay, so that is the thing. All right.
Wow.
So okay, so that's for goals.
after all they scored all their goals against South Africa in the friendlies.
Okay, so Kelvin, another pop quiz. Can you guess the team with the most assists?
The team with the most assists. Assists.
Yes.
England.
No.
France. Wow.
18.
Michael Olise and then
Michael Olise had 7 out of the 18. Kylian Mbappe had a few others and some others. So,
Mbappe 4. I think Dembele also had a couple.
so France 18 assists. England 14. Argentina 12. Belgium, Germany, Netherlands, Norway, Spain 10. Morocco, Senegal, Egypt, Brazil. Morocco and Senegal 9 each. Egypt and Brazil 8 each. Japan and Mexico 7 each. Sweden and Switzerland 6 each. Croatia and Colombia are tied with 5 assists each. Cote d'Ivoire, Portugal, USA 4-4-4. Austria also 4. DRC, Algeria, Paraguay, New Zealand, Jordan, Canada, Bosnia all on 3. Turkey 2. Tunisia 2. Ghana 2. So Ghana, we scored 2 goals and we had 2 assists. Korea Republic 2. Cabo Verde 2. Czechia 2. Ecuador 2. Uruguay, Uzbekistan, Haiti, South Africa, Iraq, Qatar, Australia, Iran all on 1 assist. The Zero Club, Panama, Saudi Arabia, Curaçao, and Scotland, all of them had 0 assists.
Yeah.
0 assists. 0 assists. So those are some
So
very.
Ghana 1 or 2.
We had 2.
2.
Two assists.
Who was
Brandon
it?
Thomas Asante.
And then the cross how do Lucas
go. Who set that one up? Was it not Niyama?
I think it was Niyama. The cross, yeah.
Cross. It must have been. I think it's Niyama. Hey. Okay, let's see. The team with the most attempts. Okay, Kelvin, the team with the most attempts at the World Cup. Most attempts at goal. Can you guess the team with the most attempts at goal?
Most attempts.
Most attempts
France.
at goal. You missed. France is second.
England.
No, Spain.
Really?
Yes.
And they managed to score less.
140 attempts at goal. 140. France 139. England 118. Argentina 115. And Belgium 112. Right? It goes on and on. And let me see if I can find Ghana. We had 23 attempts at goal. 23 attempts at goal. 23 attempts at goal.
This is Sporty FM,
So-
the voice of sport.
That's the thing. 23 attempts at goal. Now, if you want to see, so for example, we had 23 attempts at goal. Do you know how many shots Ghana had on target?
5. 5.
3.
Hey.
We had 3 shots.
4 games.
Yes, we played 3 shots on target.
Oh, Nathan, tell me you're lying.
I'm serious. It's there. It's all there. 23 shots. We had 3 on target. 3 on target.
Sporty FM.
That is what we were doing at the World Cup. That is what we were doing at the World Cup. So yeah, you know. In terms of the other metrics, in terms of passes, you can guess the team. Spain, obviously. 5,470 passes. 4,945 passes completed. That's a passing accuracy of 90%. 90%. So that's the thing. And they crossed the ball the most in the World Cup. They crossed the ball the most in the World Cup. So those are some of the numbers for those who are interested there. If you look at own goals in the competition, the country with the highest own goals, Qatar 2, Egypt 2, Uzbekistan, Iraq, Switzerland, Jordan, Cabo Verde, Saudi Arabia, Paraguay, Morocco, Tunisia, Australia. All of them one each in terms of own goals. And then the team that conceded the most goals, Iraq 12, Tunisia 12, England 12. England conceded 12 goals at the World Cup. So that's something they also need to think about. And then, Kelvin, let's go to the discipline metrics.
Argentina should have topped.
Oh, they are actually top.
You see? You see?
So they are actually top. They had 113 fouls against and 100 fouls for. I think so, which means that they had the most fouls against. I'm sure the most fouls against them. And they also obviously they topped the yellow card charts. Kelvin, 15 yellow cards for Argentina. 15 yellow cards for Argentina. One red card. 15 yellow cards. They were quote unquote the dirtiest team in the competition if you look at it from a card perspective. Okay, so that is that. The red card counts, Qatar 2, South Africa 2. So that's something Qatar and South Africa need to think about. Okay, that's something South Africa and Qatar need to think about. In terms of the clean sheet table, Spain 7, France, Colombia, Mexico all on 4, Argentina, Morocco, England, Brazil, Cote d'Ivoire, Paraguay, Switzerland, Canada, Cabo Verde, Ghana, Australia, Portugal, all getting 2 clean sheets. So that is that. If you look at some of the other matrices, like for example, the quickest teams, right? If you look at the quickest teams, Czechia, they did 6.33 kilometers per hour, but it really didn't amount to much because they got knocked out, of the competition. So that is the story for Czechia. Now, if you go to some of the stats,
The voice of sports.
right? If I'm trying to see if I can get like individual stats. Okay, player stats, very good. Player stats. So we do know at the Golden Boot Award for the top scorer, Kylian Mbappe, 10 goals, 4 assists. Lionel Messi, 8 goals, 4 assists. Jude Bellingham, 7 goals, 1 assist. Erling Haaland, 7 goals, no assist. Ousmane Dembele, 6 goals, 2 assists. Harry Kane, 6 goals, 1 assist. Mikel Oyarzabal, 5 goals, 1 assist. And it goes on and on. The highest scoring African player is Ismail Assar, 4 goals and 1 assist. The highest scoring African player in the World Cup 2026. So that is the story in terms of numbers. For those who like their numbers, that is the story. Michael Olise, of course, had the most assists, 7 assists in that competition. Martin Odegaard 4, Kylian Mbappe 4, Brahim Diaz 4, Bruno Guimaraes 4, Lionel Messi 4. So all of them are in the 4 club in terms of assists. So that is the story. That is the story there. Ismail Assar, I mentioned scorers. Ismail Assar, the highest scoring African player at the World Cup. He had 4 goals. So that is that. Okay, so that's the story there in terms of statistics. Time check is 9:38. You can also send us your comment 054-257-1061, 054-257-1061. But if you go to Ghana Web, they have a very interesting story here. They are takeaways of the World Cup. Kelvin, let me read this story, and then maybe we can use that as a base for the conversation. So takeaway number one: bigger doesn't mean weaker. So lots of people said that 48 teams, that's not good enough. We wouldn't have a lot of good games and all. But as Wenger says, the format has been a success. Calvin, do you agree that the 48 team experiment, I don't know whether it will stay, but your thoughts on that? What is it something FIFA should maintain going forward? 48 teams for the World Cup.
Well, I think that they should maintain it. Maybe going forward, some of the teams will get better, especially with participation and then progress. A nation like Cape coming to show what they've done in the first, tournament. It looks more like they were a bit, unadventurous from the opening days of the tournament. And once they decided to be very much adventurous after going 3 matches without a loss and then they faced Argentina, you could see they came all out to play. And they delivered, some very good top performances in there.
Okay.
And even for the winners, you can see that they went through the mill to play some of the tough games. To ride through to play 8 matches. Initially, you were playing just 6 matches. Then you moved to 7 because of the round of 32. Now, it's 8 games before you can win the World Cup. And it's giving the teams, a great deal of a time, or do I say a very stern test. And I love what is here. I've seen many people trying to say that, yes, Intebe teams, quote unquote, come to the tournament. But yes, you would expect that. That is the essence of football and sport. That to see that teams who lie low or who have less opportunities in trying to do what, rise to the occasion, get opportunities like this to come and play at major tournaments. It was quite unfortunate. There were some of the teams that you could not blame them so much because I'm not sure they really had, the best arrangements. A team like Iran and Iraq.
Okay.
You just see they had to fly in, fly out, so it wasn't too easy for them to do what, to have a very smooth, tournament. And DR Congo and the likes, all these nations returning to top flight. Look at how they gave, their opponent a run for their money.
Yeah.
A team like Belgium, in the opening stages of the tournament, they were just, terrible. But when they managed to get, that opportunity to play in the round of 32 and move on, you could just clearly see the kind of quality that they hold. So there are teams that, shock us in the opening stages, but when they pick up the pieces, they can be good to go. So I think that, yes, 48 teams, more money, more games to watch, more value. I'm sure some of us, those who complain about the World Cup, will be thinking now, could it have extended for 1 or 2 more weeks? Because, it was so much exciting. And you cannot blame the teams who qualify because they go through the mill to do what? To get through and come to the World Cup. So for the teams who don't qualify, they have themselves to blame. But for those who managed to qualify for it, I don't think any team was easy to beat. Maybe aside which team? Maybe
Panama.
Yeah, Panama. Even with that, the Black Stars struggled, but we all know the state of our Black Stars. But the rest of the teams, look at Cape Verde and what they offered. And maybe you can talk about Haiti also. They weren't too great with their performances. So let's see. Look at Cape Verde. Many thought they were just going to pick Spain and other nations were going to run over them. But look at the sort of performance that they've given themselves and the kind of limelight. It's given hope to many. Vozinha at the age of 42 wouldn't have thought of coming here because Africa would have been less, it would have been crammed up. And in cramming up, the 5 nations, I'm not sure you'd have mentioned Cape Verde to get there and get through to the next, to get to the World Cup. So I think it's good. We should just, and as Wenger knows, they are the technical director. He's virtually put together a lot, of plans and his work to fruition. So this is a well thought plan and hopefully, it excels beyond just this particular World Cup. We all know the difficulties in immigration, in, all other things that happen. But I think, 48 teams, it was a success.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. We got to see other countries. But this is what, people say that the quality will dip or the quality will be diluted. I don't think so. I think that quality will always show itself. Because look at the teams that made the last 4 of the World Cup. The top 4 ranked teams in the world going into the competition. So there's this talk about the quality will be diluted. I don't think so. Look, there's a reason why. I always say there's a reason why there's a FIFA ranking. The FIFA ranking is not a random arrangement. It is based on performance. So countries that are higher up on the rankings are more likely to perform better in major competitions. Okay? They are likely to perform better in major competitions than countries ranked lower. If you play that situation 10 times, you get that result 9 times. That countries that are in the top 5 or top 10 or top 15 are the ones who are likely to do well at the World Cup. And they are the ones who are likely to still be alive after round of 32 or round of 16 or quarter, whatever. So I'm not too fussed about the level. People say all kinds of teams will qualify. Yeah, all kinds of teams may qualify. But if or when they do qualify, that is when they also realize that there are levels to this and there are levels below some of the better countries. So quality will always rise to the top of the soup. That's just my thinking. Anyway, pointer number 2, they say Spain announced a new era. Spain announced a new era. Spain winning the World Cup. It's a very interesting story. I don't know anybody who would look at Spain, especially throughout the length of the competition, and imagine that they didn't deserve to win the World Cup. I think they were good value for their win. I think they deserve it totally. And I think that this is even a bigger exhibition of or a bigger advert for Spanish football than maybe what they did in 2010, probably. Because then 2010, I mean, they had a very, very, very good team. This team is really good. Sometimes you gloss over the names and say that this team is not as good as 2010, but this team is good. But I think what this team has, and maybe the other teams, the other Spanish teams also have, is just the chemistry, the collective. And when you watch them play, you could tell that this was a collective. And Luis de la Fuente has done very, very, very well to put this team together. The familiarity, the chemistry, the understanding of the team, and his own understanding of the players in the team is absolutely wonderful. That's what you want from a coach who understands his players. He knows who can do what for me at a particular time. So maybe for us as a country, there's something we need to learn, how to grow our own project, how to be patient. But I also, when people say, oh, we have to be patient with the coaches, it is true. But we also need to ensure that the coaches are learning. You don't keep a bad coach in place for 5 years. Nothing productive will come out of it. So we need to have good coaches. We need to give them the opportunity to learn. And that is where the FA can help groom the next level of coaches. Find coaches to grow with teams. But when we give coaches the license to grow, we have to ensure that they are growing. They are growing not only by staying with the team, but they are also growing in terms of knowledge. Yeah, it's very, very, very important. So for me, that is what I will say concerning that. Pointer number 3 is that, I mean, this story is saying that they believe the football map is changing. Calvin, do you think the football map is changing? Do you think things are shifting in the world of football?
I'm not sure it's changing. I'm not sure it's changing. It's not going to change. It's not changing. The farthest Africa would go is where they go to. The farthest Asia would travel to is where they travel to. The farthest, Europe would always go is to be in the final and win. The farthest South America would travel is to be in the final and win. North America, they've not been exceptional in the last couple of tournaments. Yeah. You go to Oceania, they've not. So I asked myself, how many Europeans in the last 4? 3.
There are 3 Europeans:
Spain, France, England. South America 1. You go back to the the quarterfinals, and there was Switzerland in addition. Yeah,
the quarterfinals.
France beat Morocco there. That was when Morocco also exited the competition, and then there was Norway in the another European side, and then the last team that was eliminated, Argentina eliminated who?
Argentina took out which one? The quarters.
Yes.
Argentina took out Switzerland.
And then France took out Morocco.
France took out Morocco. No, Argentina took out Egypt.
Egypt. France took out.
Was it Egypt?
No.
It was Switzerland.
It was Switzerland.
Round of 16.
Yes.
This round of 30.
And France.
So quarterfinals, that's where we are.
Yes.
Okay, so yes, Argentina took out Switzerland.
France took out Morocco.
France took out Morocco.
England took out Norway.
And then Spain took out Belgium.
Exactly.
So just count the number of European countries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6. And then how many did we have? 1 from Africa, 1 from South America. The same old story. It's not changing. And that boils down to the mentality and the psychology. So if Arsene Wenger and the rest of FIFA want to see the football map change or diluted a bit, then they clearly need to look at what is happening. Where is the gap? They always say, oh, the gap is closing. The gap is not closing.
Oh, but Kelvin, look.
How is it closing?
If you look at
round of 16, you want to go back?
no, not round of 16
Okay.
per se. But for example, Morocco took the Dutch to a penalty shootout and won. Egypt dragged Argentina very late into the game. Of course, they lost. Not South Africa. Senegal tried, lost it. So, Ali, don't you think that previously a lot of these countries would have been beaten very early? But this time, at least, they've been able to drag teams into latter parts of games. Or for you, it doesn't count for much. If you can't complete the job, then...
Exactly. That is the essence. Nathan, if Spain hadn't completed the job, would they be called champions? No.
So you're saying that if an African team or a lot of these teams, if you are able to take leads or you are in a good position in a football
You
game,
only win a game after 90 minutes or after 120 minutes, depending on what happened. And that is why you must go the extra mile. What happened that you couldn't get about 4 African nations in the quarters?
True.
We could have. It was highly possible.
True.
Look at the way Mana Senegal lost to Belgium.
True.
Look at how Egypt crumbled to Argentina.
Because if you look at the round of 32,
Yes. The round of look at how Congo fell to England.
Morocco made it.
Egypt made it.
Egypt made it. No, round of 16.
Round of 16, yes. Morocco made it.
Round of
Egypt,
16, yeah. Morocco made it.
Egypt made it.
No, Egypt got beaten by...
in the round of 16.
Yes.
But they got through.
Okay, so they got to the round of 16. Yes, so Egypt made it. Morocco made it. Those were just the only 2.
Yes.
And two North African teams.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
In the round of 32.
That's where the problem is.
Yeah, we had a lot of the African teams, but that was also when a lot of them exited.
Exactly. Look at how Ghana lost to Colombia. We played as if we had nothing on our hands.
Yeah.
We're just terrible. We're bad.
South Africa.
This is not a Colombian team. Yes, look at how South Africa themselves were beaten by the host Canada.
Yeah.
You get
they lost late in the game.
Yes. When the game could have traveled, momentarily lapse in concentration.
That's it.
And it was the same thing for the others. Look at Senegal, you lead 2-0. How do you manage a game like that? Look at Ghana in the game against Colombia. Virtually provided nothing. How many shots on target did we get? Even the 4 games, we got 3.
Yes,
2 of them were from the games that we played and scored against England, and then we scored against Panama, and that was our last game. Which one? The one we lost to Croatia. That game.
Yeah.
I'm sure those were just the games that we managed to get shots on target. Against England, did we get a shot on target for Pickford to save?
No, I don't think so.
So clearly the gap, the finer details. If you are not finishing games, if you are not getting over the line to get the results, then it means job is not done.
Well, it is true. It is true.
So the map is not moving anywhere. Europe had 6 teams, 6, and half of them left because they played against each other. Half of them went off, and then they had 3 in the final 4, 1 in the final, who eventually became winners.
True. There's 4 semi-finalists, 3 were European.
Yes, go back 2022.
Okay.
Go back 2022.
2020.
France lost to Argentina.
And that's in the final.
And then Croatia, and then who played the third place player, the third and fourth place?
Who did Argentina?
Morocco. So we had 1 African team in the
semi-final.
In the semi-final. And then we had 2 from Europe.
But Kelvin,
2 from Europe.
Don't you think that because there's an extra layer?
Exactly, there's an extra layer. But let's go back to 2018. Who got to the final? Two Europeans. France
teams.
and Croatia.
Yeah, France and Croatia.
And then England, and then another Belgium.
So the last 4 teams were all European teams.
Yes, you want us to go back to 2014?
2014 semi-final: Brazil, Germany, Argentina, Netherlands. So
And
2 Europeans,
yes.
2 South Americans.
Exactly. And the European team managed to
European
beat
team
the South
won,
American
yes, true.
team. It's been the same old thing. 2010, 2 European teams.
Europeans, yeah. It's
So it's if
2006 2 Euro teams made the final.
So if we are in 2026 and Africa has 10 slots, 10, how many did Europe bring? Is it 16 or?
Yeah, or so. I have to check.
Initially, we said, it was because they were plenty. They had 13 nations coming to the. Now they had, I think, just plus 3 or 4 added to them. They still managed to come, and then they got through. So what is the problem? Where lies the problem? Where is the issue? That is where the technical director, maybe Arsene Wenger and the likes, should look at how best they can.
Okay, so for the just ended World Cup, this was the breakdown.
Yes.
AFC, which is Asia, 9. CONCACAF, 6. CONCACAF is Central North America.
Yeah.
6.
And now because they hosted.
Half of them were hosts.
Yes.
So 3 hosts.
3 hosts, yes.
And then teams like Panama, Haiti, and Curacao
they qualified.
Europe, 16. So they gave them 3 more slots.
Thank you. 16.
CONMEBOL, South America, 6.
Yes.
Oceania, 1. New Zealand. These days, Australia, they've moved to
Asia.
So that's out. And then CAF, which is Africa, 10.
Thank you. 10. 9 and a half, 10.
We got 10.
And
DRC became the 10th.
10. So South America, how many did South America have? 6.
6.
They got 1 finalist. Or 1 in the what do you call the final square.
Yes.
But Africa had 10. Where did we get to? Yes. So the football map, the map is not, it won't change. It's not switching. It's not moving. It's still with Europe. They will continue to be dominant.
But let me ask you a question. If Africa, for example, these were the teams that represented Africa:
Yeah.
Algeria, Cape Verde,
Yes.
DRC, Egypt,
Yeah.
Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire,
Yeah.
Morocco, Senegal, South Africa, and Tunisia.
Yes.
For example, assuming
Yes.
teams like Nigeria and Cameroon made it, right? If teams like
Maybe Cameroon, Nigeria, they don't mention them. Yeah, Nigeria, they no. They wouldn't have done anything.
Oh, are you sure?
Oh, where would they have got into? Group stages, pam. No Malus, no Mukofi.
Oh, you think Nigeria wouldn't have made it out of the group?
Oh, come on, they won't place even third. I'm telling you, Nigeria.
Oh, I didn't know.
If it was Cameroon, yes,
Are you sure?
they will fight to make it. Let's not kid ourselves. This is the first time even Cote d'Ivoire managed to sail out of their group.
Well,
From 2006, look at that golden generation of Didier Drogba, Ronald Dindani, Yaya Toure,
Bakary
Solomon
Konde.
Kalou, Bakary Konde, Romari Kofi Ndiri, Didier Zokora. This is the first time they have gotten out of the group stages. Because what? Round of 32.
okay.
So if you have 10 nations, let's leave the Cape Verde, Algeria, Tunisia. Those guys, I don't know how they would continuously qualify for the World Cup. But
they know how
if they
to
qualify, they have to be there. But if we have all these, look at my concern is even about the round of 32 and the manner in which the games were lost.
Okay.
If you go back to the was it the quarterfinal that Egypt played? Egypt went to the quarterfinal, right? Or was it the round of 16 that Argentina?
They got to the
round of 16.
They got to
Round of 16.
Round of
Argentina
16,
beat them in the
sorry,
round of 16.
Yes.
Look at how they lost to Egypt.
Or look at how Egypt lost to Argentina. Yes, led by 2.
Yes. Look at how
They
Egypt
led
lost their game.
2-0, and then Argentina came back to score 3 times.
So the point is, if you are not doing the job, if you are not getting over the line, all right.
So for you, no, there's no change.
There is no change. Europe, they will continuously dominate.
But isn't it because they are by default better?
Exactly. So that is why the technical, if you say you want the rest of the world to come and battle, and then you see some sort of, fight and, the balance being shifted, there should be something else, not the numbers. Because trust you me, if you give Europe 10, you give them 10, 5 or 6 of their very best, France, England, Spain, if Portugal, Netherlands, they would continuously get to the final stages of the competition. And they are good shouts to win the tournament whenever they get there.
Okay.
Which eventually they continuously have done and they are doing.
Okay. So which means there's a lot of work for FIFA to do if it wants to bridge the gap.
Exactly.
But African countries or some of these, let me not say African countries, some of these other countries will also have to start.
Yes. One man I didn't buy in Asia. Or is it not Asia or?
I mean, here,
9.
Asia. 9.
9. Almost another.
Australia, Iran, Iraq, Japan, Qatar, Saudi, South Korea, and Uzbekistan.
Oh, we'll say a 2 more. 9 thing. 9.
So the other ones there.
So that is why Africa continuously should be winning and win. Like you get teams
because you feel that if African teams do well, they can now make an argument for more slots. Okay.
Then you can make because your coefficient to rise. Europe are there because they are now Spain have won. They are stretching the coefficient. Look, the reason why South America is even dropping, they would have had how many South America? Is it 10?
That's about 10.
10. So 4 drop out. If they were winning a lot more, their coefficient will rise, and then they will get another number. They'll get another.
There are 10 teams in the South American qualifying group. 10 teams in the South American qualifying group. Yes. So 10.
We got that extra slot to go and play at the playoffs because of the performance that we had showed in recent times, and especially the Morocco trip to the semi-finals from the 2022 World Cup.
Yeah.
So that when it was being expanded 9, but we have the half to go and participate, and which DR Congo took well, and then they got to the World Cup. So I just hope that maybe CAF and they should just look at what is wrong with Africa, what they can do best to just help bridge the gap going forward.
Okay. All right. The final bit, they say, well, we've touched on this, Africa inspired, but the breakthrough still remains elusive. It is true. 10 teams qualified, but then, when it got to the crunch, the African teams were not there. They were not there at all. And then the last point here, they say, the possible end of an era. They mentioned Leo Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo. They are the ones who are possibly exiting. I wonder if we'll see them again at the World Cup. The likes of Luka Modric and co are also heading out, moving on to other things. So that's the thing. All right, we are wrapping it up here on the Sporty Breakfast. Many thanks for tuning in. Immortal, let's see if we have a couple of messages. I can touch on those messages, and then we will call it a show. All right, let me touch on this message. Enam from Newtown says, what a time to be alive. The Black Queens team dominated by foreign-based players. I'm happy for the players. They are earning better than they did here. All right, we are wrapping it up here. But before we leave, Stanbic Bank is saying that every tap or swipe deserves a reward. Your Stanbic Visa debit card doesn't just pay, it gives back. You are getting 5% cash back when you spend 500 CDs or more at ShopRite, or 1,200 CDs or more at Decathlon. But why do you stop there? Unlock amazing savings with exclusive discounts from your favorite lifestyle brands. You get 10% off at Bliss Farm Entertainment, 12.5% off at Niobe Saloon and Spa, up to 20% off at Wardrobe Essentials, and up to 50% off Nespresso. This offer ends on the 31st of July. Rexona is made for motion, is made for you. Rexona's Deo Spray contains motion sense technology, and that has microscopic capsules that sit on your skin and burst with friction as you move, releasing extra bursts of freshness for every step you take and every move you make. Choose Rexona, choose protection that moves with you. In the morning when you woke up, you brushed your teeth. Complete the cycle by brushing your teeth tonight before you go to bed. Do the two with Pepsodent brush every morning and evening. My name is Nathan Carr. This has been the Sporty Breakfast. I did this with Raymond Yamado. I did this with Kelvin Owusu-Ansah. My production team, Immortal Kwame Jacque Champon, Angela Mensah, Naneki Amankwa, and Abigail Sena Susu gave us great support. My DJ Fidelis J. The other members of the team, Fly, Yusuf, Desaja, Isa, and Emmanuel Ayamga. Shout out to the technical guys, Biggie, and his gang as well. Thank you so much to you, our listeners, for joining us. We'll catch you tomorrow. Enjoy your day. There's the news at midday, the Sporty plug at 12:30, Sporty Drive at 4, and European Nights a little later from 7. Thank you so much for joining us. We are the voice of sport. This has been the Sporty Breakfast. This is Sporty FM. Keep your dials locked here and have a wonderful day.